with today's subject as being a tribute speech, I had to say one of the major people that's made an impact in my life would have to be my father. Now, there's a lot of different ways that he's done that, but especially where I'm at entering into my senior year of college, there are four major ways that's become very apparent on how he's made an impact in my life. There's really four major Christian values that has made me think about his impact and has influenced me in decisions that I make today. And I have to say the first major aspect that he's made an impact would have to be making wise decisions and also good decisions when it goes against the popular view. That you may be unliked from those around you, but it's important to stand up for what you believe in, and with those beliefs is actually based off the Bible. That it's actually more important, even though it's very hard to do this, is that it's more important to please God than it is to please man. Because even though the temporal result is to be unliked, but the eternal result, the future perspective is more important, because not only is it more God honoring, but through those tough times when you have to make the right decision, not only does this develop character, but also brings wisdom and also perseverance through hard times. Another aspect of making wise decisions is also making wise decisions when it's not based on your timetable. And this seems to be very hard for me because I tend to be impatient on trying to make good life decisions, and sometimes I tend to try to grow up too fast, and that I try to rely on my own resources and my own wisdom. But I really had to slow down, and my father's taught me that we have to make good decisions based on not only God's timetable, but also to weed out the possibilities, and to kind of have a mindset of kind of doing the what if scenarios, to weed out those what if possibilities, will you then only then kind of make the most wise decision on how to proceed. And one of the major ways in this he's impacted me is through the finance aspect of it. There's a lot of times when I've wanted to buy and purchase things, that hasn't always been the wisest thing, but I'm supposed to slow down and also just to wait on God's timing in order to provide that. And time again, that has worked out. So it's one of those things that he's impacted me that I have to take with me, is to make wise decisions in the provided timetable that God has in store for me. Not only has making decisions has been a couple areas in which my dad has impacted me, but also just the priority that he has given in the sense to family and to God. That he works hard in that. His work ethic is not a means to an end of making a name for himself and his career, but that is a way to provide for his family, his responsibility, fulfilling his responsibility for his family, for those around him that he feels responsible for. That is a way to be a good steward of the time and the resources God has provided for him, in order to be not only a servant of Christ, but also be a servant to his family and to the church. And so with that, it's also instilled in me a certain kind of work ethic that I view and value the time that God has given me, and to utilize and to maximize the time that I have in whatever situation I'm in or opportunity that God provides, to take that and to do it in a God-honoring way. In addition to making God and family as a priority, it is also to be a servant, and that this kind of extends from making family a priority, but being a servant of Christ, and to, instead of being self-focused, be self-others centered, and that being the most joy from a Christian is to glorifying God and serving others, and that with that is focusing on to glorify Him and to surround yourself with people that you can impact in their life. So with all of this, I don't consider myself, my dad, a theologian, but I consider him to be a theologian on life. That there may be many times where he may not be perfect, but he's given me a wonderful example on how to utilize the time and the resources that God has given in order to glorify God in the life. And that's what the Christian life is to glorify God in life, and whatever we do is to give Him the glory. So with that, I'm thankful for my dad, and this is a tribute speech to him.